In Valorant, there is one common goal for the player base. We all want to climb higher on the leaderboard and reach the rank we dream of. So let's talk about why you are not reaching your desired rank. What is Valorant? This question might seem easy to answer since it's a video game, obviously. But considering that every single person sitting behind the monitor watching this video is completely different, answer will vary as well. Valorant can be a game for a lot of people and they want to use it to entertain themselves. It can also be a job for people who create content or play professionally and make a living from it. For others, Valorant might just be another addiction that doesn't have any positive effects on their life. After all, anyone playing Valorant can define what Valorant means to them. With this in mind, we arrive at the next destination. Playing Valorant is closely connected to your answer to the first question. If Valorant is just a game for you to have fun with, your goals should be aligned with that. The biggest issue I see when people play Valorant is having unrealistic expectations of themselves. This always creates a stressful environment where they aren't really enjoying whatever they do in Valorant. If your goal is to rank up, being mentally drained won't help you reach it. It will do the exact opposite, leading to even more stress. If Valorant is your job, either as a pro or a content creator, your goal of making a living or winning a certain competition should be prioritized. You have to take it seriously and put in more energy to reach that goal, because everyone else in that space is going to do the same. You will compete with a crazy number of people who are insanely dedicated to achieving their goals. It might mean making more videos or simply being faster with the news than anyone else, but understanding what Valorant is for you will also help figure out what your goal should be. Being honest with yourself in this case is extremely important, otherwise you will be wasting your own precious time. I will talk more about this a little bit later. Realistic goals can be reached. Unrealistic ones will only harm you mentally or even physically. What Valorant is for us and what our goal in Valorant is leads us to the next chapter. We decided that Valorant is only a tool to entertain ourselves. Then, we set an unrealistic goal to be one of the best in the game. Here, we will have to consider what is more important in our lives. Do we want to put thousands of hours into the game, or could we just stick to it being fun for us after a long day of work or school? Does it really worth grinding if we aren't totally committed to our goal? Maybe commitment isn't even the issue, but you lack time to play. You work as a cashier at Tesco, and when you get home, you only have a handful of hours to spare. Or you might just be a bit tired because you were dealing with some entitled people all day who thought they could treat you like an animal. Thanks to this, you simply cannot put in the hours needed to reach your desired rank. As I said, the competition is extreme, and the younger generation who has less to worry about will have more options to put in the hours. But you can also think about it this way. You are working to have a home and food on your table while trying to find your feet in this chaotic world. And let's be honest, this isn't an easy task to fulfill. You decided to work and sustain yourself for a reason, instead of staying home and living with your family. Maybe you want to get married and trying to save up for the wedding. So what is really more important to you? Should you prioritize something that doesn't offer the needed paybacks for your goals to be reached? Probably eating or not being cold at home is more important than a gun buddy on your Vandal. Maybe your social life is the victim of you prioritizing the game and putting it in front of everything else. Does it really worth potentially ignoring the love of your life because you are in a ranked game? I think we both know the correct answer here. Not long ago, I was sitting in the bathroom, mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. I watched literally anything that was served up to me, even though I knew it was garbage content. It offered no value and wasn't even entertaining. My legs started to get numb when I got a notification. TikTok sent me a reminder about how many hours I had spent on TikTok in the last 7 days. I was curious, so I clicked on it, and I couldn't believe what I saw. 15.5 hours. That's more than 2 hours daily. Then I just compared the two. Is there any real difference between scrolling on TikTok without intention or playing Valorant without a real goal behind it? My conclusion was that there is no difference. I was fully motivated to use my time better and sat down to learn more about how to create videos and improve my editing. In 2 hours, I was able to fully learn and master a new skill, which could elevate my videos to be so much better. Now, imagine if I use those 2 hours every day to achieve or learn something in my life. I could be speaking another language in a few months, or I could be the best darts player in town. I could have written a book or learned how to do splits. Do you start to see what being without an objective can cause? The time that was meant to be spent having fun became a habit of wasting time. And this is not even everything, because I also have to mention something that is hard to talk about. This upcoming section might be quite difficult to digest for some people. In life, everyone has to face situations they never imagined before, or they have to deal with things they were really afraid of happening. For example, when I was in high school, I got expelled in a shady way because some teachers didn't like me. I thought that was the end of the world, while it was only the reality of life. Even if you have clear goals and your priorities are aligned with whatever you want to achieve, and maybe you are capable of doing everything for the goal and you are on your way to actually get it. But sometimes life puts obstacles in your way, so you are forced to change your goals or priorities. This can be really painful, but it will also make you a stronger person. The heartbreaking truth of Valorant is that reaching certain levels or going pro at certain ages is quite unlikely. You have to understand that maybe it makes more sense to focus on aspects of your life where you are much better at. Maybe you weren't born with an immense amount of talent and your skill ceiling isn't where you think it is. Learning for the first time that you won't be a professional player at your game of choice is always tough. But remember that everyone is good at something different, and maybe it will take a few more years of maturing until you find what suits you the best. Even knowing everything I have talked about, there is one more thing I truly believe in. You should never give up. You have to be reasonable with your goals, but if the goal is realistic enough that with hard work and a bit of luck you can reach it, you should never give up. Always dream big. Otherwise, what's the point of dreaming? If after all this your goal is still to improve in Valorant, you should click on this video because it will make you a beast on eco rounds.